I never saw the site in its original form, but I understand that there used to be houses here and that there was a nursing home here. Those had been cleared away by the time I moved to Boone, and then it was just open space. And then about 3 or 4 years ago, Wendy Patoprsty at the Extension office decided that this would be a great place for a wetland. So now what you're seeing is that it is a constructed wetland to collect stormwater runoff. Any wetland, whether it's a natural one or a constructed one, acts as a filter. So in this one in particular, we have water running off of athletic fields, running off of parking lots, running off of the paved path of the greenway. And so that means that you've got oil and sometimes metals. You've got bits of rubber off people's tennis shoes. You've got all of that, the fertilizers from the athletic fields, you've got all of that running into the wetland. The wetland then lets it settle down, collects some of those pollutants, holds them in the wetland so that the water that leaves the wetland and actually gets to the river is clean. One of the first things you have to do to build a wetland is find money. It is expensive, and then of course you need the location. You need a place that is conducive and a proper, appropriate place to have a wetland. And this site was definitely a good place. Any floodplain area, any place where a river naturally wants to be is a great place for a wetland. The town of Boone has been really supportive in allowing this to happen. And then Wendy Patoprsty at the Extension office was instrumental in getting the funding through Clean Water Management Trust Fund and other sources to allow the wetland to happen, because it is an intense process. It involves a lot of construction. We had a track hoe in here early on to dig this out, to get what we call microtopography, to get the wetland structures. You've got deep pools, you've got little islands, you've got shallow areas. And that all took time and effort, and then of course planting it. We spent about 2 weeks total planting the wetland, and all those plants cost money. And then volunteer labor, of course, made it happen as well. I definitely am an environmentalist. I definitely see the environmental benefits, but I also see that this is an amenity for our community. Greenways have been shown, if you go look at the research, greenways have been shown to raise property values, to be an attractant. Again, we're already a tourist area. This just gives us one more thing that brings tourists to the area. So again, the aesthetic value of a wetland can be amazing. This is going to be a beautiful site. It's going to attract wildlife. We're going to have more birds, insects, dragonflies, those kinds of things. And for the people who live here, for the residents, having clean water and having a viable, healthy river has economic value. It provides us. The new river is famous throughout the United States. And so this helps us keep it happy and healthy, and again, for Boone, it's our drinking water source. So I can't think of anything more relevant to individuals who live here than that. This particular project was made possible by people, Wendy in particular writing grants, and the town of Boone really supporting what she was trying to do. And I can't say enough about the Extension office that we have here in Watauga County. They're fabulous. They do much more than the traditional, here's how to fertilize your tomatoes, or how to grow. They do help people with growing their Christmas trees, but they do so much more than that. Water is my passion, and our Extension office is very adamant that we protect our water, and they do everything they can to make that possible. And again, the town of Boone has been fabulous in supporting this and understanding that this is a long-term effort and that this does have value to the community, to the people who live here and the people who visit here. So I think it's very important to understand that this is a long-term effort and something that requires participation from all the political entities, the community, and county offices like the Extension office.